Down training or releasing the pelvic floor muscles is a really, really important part of your whole well-being program. So I'm going to come down onto my back, and I've got a bolster here, but you could use a couple of firm pillows or even a couple of blocks with a blanket on top. We just need to get a nice height to bolster up our pelvis. So I'm going to lie on my back, take this bolster, it's not a firm bolster, underneath the pelvis, not underneath the lower back, so that's different, just underneath the pelvis. And you want to have your lower back here draping off the height. So it's like the very top of the pelvis is just coming off the bolster here. And this position allows all the pelvic organs to drop away from the pelvic floor. So it's great to take the pressure off the pelvic floor. And because of that, we can allow the pelvic muscles just to relax. And what we want to do is go into that ujjayi breath, that long, smooth breath where we connect the diaphragm with the pelvic floor. But this time, rather than worrying about any lifting, we are sending both the inhalation and the exhalation down and around this whole area. So it's almost like you imagine you have a big beach ball from your hips all the way down past your bottom, and as you breathe in and out, you're just imagining that you're filling up this whole area with air. So just relaxing, hands down, palms facing up, so you're opening the shoulders, relaxing the jaw. The jaw and the pelvic floor are deeply connected, so really relax the jaw here. Make sure the tongue is heavy in your mouth, and start to use that breath to fill up the lower belly. Send the breath into the hips, into the pelvic floor, into the buttocks, right around, big circular 360 breath. And I invite you to stay here for a good 5, 10, 20 breaths. So if it feels comfortable, just stay here. If you have pain, if you have constipation, if you know that there are tension spots in the pelvic floor, then this is a really essential part of your program. You really need to down train before you do any strengthening. If when you're doing strengthening work, you start to have more incontinence, more urge incontinence in particular, then we want to come back to this, just really relaxing and connecting with this lower part of the body. A lot of women are very disconnected, almost cut off from the belly button downwards. So just hands either on the lower belly or on the floor, and breathing and relaxing. Fantastic. So if it's comfortable, we can start to take the feet together and the knees out. So this puts an extra little bit of stretch here through the psoas muscles. The psoas muscles run from the inner thighs. They draw through the hip flexor area here, and they go through the pelvic floor and through the diaphragm, and then they attach to either side of the lumbar spine. So they're very, very important. They connect the bottom part of the body to the top part of the body. And when we do a lot of sitting and when we're tense, they tend to tense up, and they can really muck up with your pelvic floor function. So this position just passively stretches from here, and also gravity is allowing the insertion point of the psoas muscles to release here as well. So some long, smooth breaths with knees apart, toes together if that feels comfortable. If you're very tight in the hips, it might be too much. So just go with what is comfortable for you. And then moving into baby pose with your pelvis bolstered. So feet up towards the ceiling. I say this is the most ungainly pose in yoga. Knees drop down towards the ground. It's like an upside down squat. Grab hold of either your ankles, or if you can reach, the inside of your feet. I've got socks on because I'm a bit cold. So inside of your feet. And then you just draw the feet down. A bit of pressure through the upper back. It's quite nice just to flatten the back into the ground. And breathing so that the inner thigh muscles, the adductor muscles, get nice and released. The pelvic floor is released. The whole groin area is released. So staying here for a good 5 to 10 breaths as well. Really relaxing, softening, and calming the whole central nervous system. So once you've spent enough time in this position, Just slide your pillow or your bolster out from underneath you and allow the lower back to settle down into the ground. Fantastic. Enjoy.